Hey, what's going on? I'm Keith here at Sports Vibes TV, and you're tuned into the Knicks Syndicate pregame show. I'm joined, as always, by George from at Into the Knicks Verse and our NBA analyst here on the channel, Stephen Fox. So, guys, how are you guys enjoying yourself so far today? I'll start with George. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. My voice is still recovering from Saturday night. Celebrated my brother's birthday a little too hard, and then yesterday screaming through the second half because I missed the first half of the game, which I rewatched later that night because I'm in LA. I wasn't able to watch it at all until they replayed it on this whatever the Bally Sports channel, whatever they have here. So impressive win, but I'm excited to be here. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you two.
Okay.
George, you're funny. Impressive win. You sound like Tibbs calling Randall terrific in the post game.
Yeah. Those were the best 7 turnovers I've ever seen.
Wire to wire. I'll take it. I'll take a wire to wire win.
Yeah. I won't call it impressive though. I'll definitely take the win, but impressive might be a stretch. Foxy, how's everything with you?
All is good. Salute to you. Salute to the SV Nation in the chat. Can't wait to talk hoops with you tonight.
Facts. So we mentioned the game a little bit, George. Let me hear your thoughts on how things went down. You already said it was impressive. What were some things you liked in that victory? The Knicks went at home. We won 110-102 against the Clippers. So I just wanted to hear how you felt the team performed yesterday.
I thought that being able to overcome Randall's 7 turnovers. Wait, was it 7 or 6?
It was 7.
It was 7.
You know, and RJ RJ was a tale of two halves. The first half he shot 50%. And then for some crazy reason, I don't know, maybe Thibs forgot he didn't sub him out. He played the entire second half. So, that's what happens when you overdo it. You're going to lose your touch a little bit. He can still get to the hoop. He can still do certain things, but that last second of touch that you need to make those buckets kind of leaves you when you're winded, when you're tired.
Tired legs.
Yeah. And I found it also pretty interesting that Cam, his very first time he subs into a Knicks game is for RJ. I thought that was pretty kind of poetic in a way. I don't know if it's a telltale sign of things to come, if that's how Thibs sees him. So now is Cam gonna be the next Obi playing behind a starter who plays the most amount of minutes? Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. I enjoyed the wire to wire win. That's what I meant by impressive, because we actually haven't even had a game like that in quite a long time. And the Clippers, even though they're missing Kawhi, missing Paul George, they're still a very good defensive team. And the Knicks were able to make it happen. I mean, what did they score? 110 yesterday?
They did.
Yep, 110-102 was the final score.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice final stat line. It is, especially when you consider the inefficiency that our boy RJ had in the second half, mostly. So the first half he did have a nice one. There was something else I wanted to point out, that the start of the third quarter was pretty cool because I believe RJ had the ball in his hands for the first 5 possessions or something like that. Is that right? The third quarter?
I don't know that stat.
Yeah, I don't remember the possessions.
Let's see, rebound. Yep. He got the rebound, got the assist for Fournier, 3-pointer. Burks missed a shot. Fournier got a rebound. Then RJ took it down. He got fouled. He hit both free throws. So already RJ's responsible for 5 points right there. Mitch rebound. Randall bad pass turnover. Fournier steal.
I want roadcaster.
Yeah. Fournier steal.
Fatality.
And then Burks misses a 3-point jump, 3-pointer, misses it. Let's see. Barrett rebounds, then gets a layup. See where I'm going? He's responsible now for 7 points. That's it. So the first 7 points of the third quarter, the third quarter's been a weird third quarter for the Knicks all season. For a while there, we couldn't do shit in the third quarter. And then we have games where we're like destroying people in the third quarter. But mostly we've not been that effective in the third quarter. But it was interesting to see RJ just say, I'm taking this game over right now. And he did it. And maybe that's what Thibs saw. And maybe Thibs just said, I'm going to leave him out there. Let's see what he can keep doing. But there's always diminishing returns with minutes when it's heavy minutes load. What did he play? 43 minutes?
He did.
Yep.
42 and change.
Yeah.
And then
that's a lot of minutes, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was happy about that. I also I think, and I shared this with you, Keith, and JD last night, or was it this morning? I can't remember, but I think we're in a really interesting time of the season. I think the narrative has changed. We are no longer as a unified fan base. I don't think the fan. If you polled the fan base, I don't think the fan base thinks right now that we're a playoff team. Those expectations have gone, have diminished. Do we still hope for a play-in? Do we still hope for things for them to get it together? Yeah, we hope for it, but I don't think we really believe that. But what we do have to look forward to every game now is the new narrative. What is RJ going to do? Is RJ going to keep this steady progression that he's had since December 31st, where he's averaging, about 23 points per game?
Yeah.
Yeah. And really the only real weak spot during that period has been, he had those 2 weird turnover games. So back to back where he had 13 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the free throw shooting. Other than that, the guy, he's 21 years old. He's put together a nice string of games together, kind of like last season, but at a higher level. Because instead of him waiting in the corner to do his damage, he's now running the show, and he's now playing above the break and attacking the hoop and not taking direct pats, which we've been wanting this from him, and now we're seeing it. So now it's like, I'm excited tonight. Yeah, of course I want him to win, but I'm like, okay, is RJ going to give us a big game tonight? Probably not, because like we just said, he played 43 minutes yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. The K word.
The K word. Oh,
Kemba.
And Kemba's back too. So
that throws a.
Well, we don't know if it's
wrench in the
official.
works.
Is he still listed as questionable? Did anybody tweet an update saying he was actually going to be in the starting lineup?
I don't believe so. And if anybody has heard anything, please put it.
Please let us know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're still in limbo right now.
Yeah, we appreciate it. But you know what I'm saying? I think that's the new narrative. It's like, okay, well, how good is RJ?
We'll find out over the next 6 games. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
nice see, that's the new narrative. You look around, everyone's talking about, should RJ lead? Should he do this? And of course, Randall's situation has opened up the door for that. And the beautiful part is RJ's taking that over, which is really nice. It's really nice. I'm excited. I'm excited for him. He's made a little, he's level. He did like a little half level up right now. That's what I'm seeing.
Shout out to Tommy Beer, who had a stat today that RJ Barrett's one of 6 players averaging more than 22 points, 6 rebounds, and more than 2 made 3-pointers per game in 22. So since January, the other 5 are Harden, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Chris Middleton, and LeBron James. So he's all stars. All stars. He's so, but
and all stars.
Yeah. So
except for Jaylen. Is Jaylen?
What you said is the consistency, man. So now, if he's able to just keep up that consistency, that's really important. So, and also here's a stat again, Tommy Beer about Fournier over the last 9 games, dating back to RJ's buzzer beater. Fournier is 32 for 62 from downtown, 51.6%, the highest percentage in the NBA. RJ's 23 for 53, 44.2%. And just for some context, Steph Curry is 27 for 86. So Fournier has 5 more 3-pointers on 24 fewer attempts than Steph.
And all that is since this game.
Mm-hmm.
That's since that game.
Mm-hmm. The STFU game.
Yeah.
Evans been balling. Let's hope he keeps getting that trade value up, because either him or Burks has to go in order for us to get Cam some minutes.
Evan,
ding, ding, ding. Grand prize winner.
Evan's not going to let go. He's going to hang on as long as he can. He wants those minutes, and he's going to keep shooting and to hold on to them. If he keeps making these buckets, it's going to be hard to take him out.
I'm not saying take him out. I'm saying ship him away for some assets. I don't think I'm not saying bench either one of them, because they both show that they have value in this league. So if we can package one of them and bring in another player that can play another position that's not currently, putting Cam in a lock jam, I'm fine with it.
I have a question for you guys, like a real honest question about Kemba. Do you guys think Kemba has any real trade value right now?
No. You can't be in and out the lineup like he is and have some legitimate trade value.
Killer take. Exactly, but
yeah, man. Hey, shout out
if he was healthy, if he was able to play, he didn't have these instances where he's sitting down, he's taking these 4 or 5 game stretches off, then I think he'd have a lot more value, because we're seeing that he can knock down the 3, and at times he can penetrate and get to the cup. So what he can do on the court, there's value there. It's just his health, him not being able to be there game in and game out is just going to be troublesome. I'm trying to move him.
Yeah. And then there's, I don't know if you guys saw the Cam video that I dropped Saturday night, but the numbers are there. And there was the whole second half of that video is me talking about Kemba and quickly mostly. But the numbers just aren't there to support Kemba getting a lot of minutes on this team. I mean, we are just a significantly weaker team, defensively, especially when Kemba plays. So we have to, hide him. And then, our other players aren't good enough so that we can hide our point guard defensively. So I just don't think there's a role for him on this team anymore. But, like I said, I'm willing to be proven wrong on that, because I love Kemba. I've always been a huge Kemba fan. And I was really looking forward to him, man, playing for these Knicks. I was psyched.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, speaking of point guards, let's talk about Quick a little bit. Foxy, you've seen Quick perform the last few games. Have you seen him develop into what we would say is a point guard? I know before you said you didn't view him as a point guard, and I know George does. Have you seen anything with his facilitating, his ability to play make that would give you reason to trust him being the floor general for this team? Foxy?
The stats say I should, because they're a better team when IQ's on the floor. The stats don't lie that way. He had a great assist to turnover ratio yesterday, 6 assists and 0 turnovers. Yeah. So which is always a criteria when you're assessing somebody.
That's my favorite part about his offensive game.
Oh, his low toner. Yeah, he's especially a second-year player, man. He was that way last year, and then now this year. So I think it's going to take a whole lot of reps for that muscle memory in game that we were talking about for him to be a pure point guard. But if he plays like that, doesn't hurt the team with turnovers, gets the ball. I just wish he was a little more accurate on some of his passes. I think his assist numbers would go up. He's a touch off on some passes that he had
sometimes, and then he'll make like an incredible bounce pass on
or a non-look, catching the guys and stuff like that. I'm with you, but also what I think he brings is, versus other than Grimes, is really the only other person 94 feet will pick somebody up. So that brings another thing to the defense, that he's a pest. Not that he's going to do anything, but that exhausts somebody if they have somebody on top of him the whole time that he's in there. What are you smiling about?
Not that he's going to do anything.
No, just meaning sometimes you see somebody picking up 94 feet and it's sometimes it's just, exhausting, and more than I'm not going to steal the ball every possession that they got coming up. I thought you were reading something funny in the chat for a change.
No. Yeah, it just sounded funny.
He's mistake prone, but not the mistake. Not like turnover mistakes prone, but he picks up his dribble when he shouldn't. He
doesn't see somebody that's open.
He misses open guys sometimes. That's for sure. He shoots that long 3 sometimes when you don't really need it, and he jacks it up.
And he hasn't been hitting them the way we would have thought he did coming into the league.
Yeah. But his 3-point percentage is getting up there. Foxy, you know it right off.
I'm talking about the deep threes.
Oh, the deep threes. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 4-pointers.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah. They still have that in practice, right? The 4-point line.
They mentioned it in training camp. I'm not sure if it's still there.
And that's and a lot of that is Thibs, drilling that into his mind. Like I need you to stay aggressive offensively. When you're open, shoot. He tells him, and which I believe in that as well. But some of those 3-pointers that he jacks up, we can avoid those.
As long as he squares up, I have no problem, even if he misses them. But sometimes he doesn't, technique wise, if he squares up, he's a very good shooter, man. It's just when he hurries stuff and he doesn't get his form proper, when the shots don't fall.
Yeah, I want to see if Tibbs is going to give him a shot to actually start. We see when Kimba's out, we go with the Burks experiment. I would definitely like to see IQ get inserted into the starting lineup and see how that unit plays with that 5 out there on the court. Quick, RJ, Evan, Randall, and then Mitch.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll pull up these stats here because.
Yeah, but you had on the show last night, Keith, a wonderful lineup with RJ at the point.
With Cam. Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. But the thing is, do we think Tibbs is going to go that route? He looked over RJ and went with Burks.
Yeah, so if he can play Burks at the point, why can't he play RJ?
Yeah. I mean,
maybe he's got a special place in his heart for the vets.
Quickly with Randall and RJ, the team is a plus 8.8 net differential in points. With Kemba, Randall, and RJ, they're minus 10.6.
Rest your case, counselor.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Boom. That's a 19-point swing. With Burks, Randall, and RJ, without Kemba, Rose, or Quickly on the court, they're a minus 2.7. So not as tragic as they are with Kemba, but they're still minus. And those are 3 of that's 60% of your lineup. You just put Quick in there, boom, 8.8.
Yeah. Stats say he's best when he's on the court.
Yeah, even though he actually is more of a combo guard, more so than that, he's really a shooting guard. He has done a good job at trying to become an all-around guard. And especially on the defensive end, he's come a long way from last season.
Yeah, but no turnovers makes him valuable, man.
That's especially when you have guys like Randall who give up the ball constantly, and then RJ can have
going that route.
Yeah, RJ's not.
I didn't know you were going that route.
Well, he was 2 for 2 games last week.
Yeah, like here, look, even if you look at the per 36 minutes, Quickly averages for his whole career 1.8 turnovers per game per 36.
Magnificent.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's Chris Paul level, I think.
He's very that's what you want, man.
Yeah, he's over 2-to-1 ratio assists to turnover.
So do you think anything's going to change tonight with minutes for Cam and or Obi, or is it going to be the same shit?
I think it's going to be might even be worse for Cam if you look at the fact that Kemba is going to be reinserted into the lineup if he's available. I really don't see where the minutes are going to be, available for Cam. And that's going to be extremely frustrating because I think this is a game where we could use his length out there on the perimeter. And same thing for the games coming up for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I was saying, George, to Keith that today better be a mid-range game for RJ. He missed a lot of bunnies yesterday if you looked at the shot chart.
Yeah,
and
but that was mostly in the second half. You look at his shot chart in the first half, and he was hitting a few, but I have a feeling that who knows? Who knows how they get started on this game, because they might be riding some adrenaline, and maybe they'll get off to a nice start. There's no Jared Allen.
I don't know. It's a snowy night in Cleveland. I don't know how much adrenaline is going to be. Yeah. That's what they said, at least the reporters when they landed.
Berman.
Yeah, probably. Either Berman or Bondi, one of the two.
Yeah, and Clyde didn't even go.
Yeah, not a fan of Cleveland. All right. So there's nothing going to be out there to do post game. I'll pass.
You guys ever been to Cleveland?
No.
Yeah, I had to go there for business a few times, and other than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's not the coolest place. That's for sure. Yeah, that's purgatory if you're a pro player, man.
Yeah, but then they say when LeBron left, the values of all the entertainment venues just plummeted.
Oh, I can imagine.
Restaurants, yeah.
I just heard Ed Davis is going to start in place of Jared
The
Allen.
famous Ed Davis from Trades and everything like that.
Right? Did he get us like 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Or wait, no, 4 second
Yeah.
rounders actually.
Yeah, the infamous Ed Davis.
Yeah.
So that's huge. That's huge in terms of the aggressiveness that RJ can display because he doesn't have
Mhm.
both Mobley and Allen there. So now he just has one guy that he has to try to get around.
And we have Mitch and Noel listed on the injury report, so we don't know the status of those two. So with Allen not being in the game, that definitely helps as well.
Yep. Sure.
You know, I was thinking about this, about the Cam question. And if, let's say, the Kemba situation is going to eventually work itself out. And unfortunately, it's probably going to be that he just, either he gets traded, we find him a home, or, I mean, I don't like to put this on a player, but, he's missed games. He might continue to miss games. He might miss a lot of games. For the rest of the season. I know. I just don't want to put that mojo out there. But let's say Kemba is not available. A way to get minutes for Cam is to, we've been saying, let's go small, let's play small, to get Obi some minutes. Well, let's go big in the back. Let's get RJ at the point for like 10, 12 minutes a game, and then get Cam in there. And if you want to have Fournier as the guard, or it could be Burks, whoever will be the two, and Randall, and then whatever center. Play those two guys together. They played together for a year in college and in all those AAU games and stuff. So they know they understand each other's games. It could be an interesting way to go, at least for now, until Derrick Rose returns.
I mean, it's an option, but we have a rigid coach who expects Tibbs to go that route, put RJ at the 1, and then actually play Cam. He only played Cam 5 minutes. I know it was returning off an ankle injury, but there was no need to play RJ and Randall the amount of minutes he played them in that game, especially with the first game of a back-to-back. So what you're saying, it sounds good, but we've got Tibbs on the bench, and he hasn't shown the ability to be creative with his rotations, with the lineups.
He's played RJ at the 1 sometimes, though, just not for long stretches.
Not this season.
Not this season. Last season he did, right?
No, I know.
And actually, didn't even Fizdale start it? Didn't Fizdale start him at the 1?
He did opening night.
Yeah.
He just I was just going to say real quick, we have 113 people in the chat. We have 28 likes. So do me a favor, do us a solid, hit that like.
Yes,
please hit that subscribe button, so you don't miss out on any of the wonderful content from Sports Vibe TV. And while you're at it, please hit that subscribe for Into the Knicks first, so you get our guy George over that 4,000 subscriber milestone. We got to really help close. We are. So help our guy out. Please turn on that all reminder bell so you don't miss out on any of the wonderful content. And please share the link on your favorite social media platforms. And as always, thank you to the best mods on the planet. We appreciate all you do.
Yep. Thanks. Thank you for that, Foxy.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you guys, SV Nation. Let's see. Best of the Worst says, we don't know details of what happened. Cam is coming off an injury. Maybe he had a little flare up. I mean, I don't know if he had a little flare up, but Tibbs has been letting us know what his plans are for Cam since he got here. So I think this is part of Tibbs's plan.
When he uttered that 9-man rotation.
Yeah.
That's what gave me the idea. But that's what gave me the idea of maybe RJ, Fournier, and Cam. Like playing those 3 together, or Burks, whatever you want to do. Because if you're going to be a 9-man rotation, who's the other point guard? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
if you take Kemba out, I just don't see Kemba lasting. I just don't see Kemba lasting. That's why I keep saying that.
Well, in Tibbs' perfect world, I guess it's going to be Burks. That's his next point guard.
Who knows? Maybe Grimes. So and the way the offense is, man, he just has to bring it up, give it to RJ, let him start the pistol action, kick it into Randall, and let them set the do the set from there, and we'll see where it goes. But that's a hell of a defensive front there. A Grimes, RJ, Cam, and you throw in Mitch, and if Randall's there, that could be a top 5, top 10 defense right there, man.
Mm-hmm. Good. So, fellas, I want to pivot just a little bit. There's been some news about our guy Rokas over in Europe. Tommy Bear, we've mentioned him a few times on the show already. You should bring him on. Right?
Actually, I'm supposed to have him on. I should have
yes,
him on.
you're right. You're right. My bad. I let the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I gotta reach out to him. I gotta find a good topic with him.
Yeah, have him over. He says next
He's
month.
awesome. I love reading his stuff.
Facts. It says he tweeted. He says next month, Knicks front office executives and team personnel are expected to travel to Spain to spend time with second-round pick Rokas Jokubaitis, who has been playing very well for FC Barcelona this season. Now, Rokas has been killing. I use killing a lot. He's been playing well for Barcelona over in Europe, and he's one of the front runners for the Rising Star Award. And we talked about it yesterday a little bit, Foxy, but I actually found the list of the full name of players that have won this award. You've got Andrea Bargnani.
The Rising Stars Award?
Yeah. Correct.
You got Andrea Bargnani, formerly of the Knicks. Rudy Fernandez, Danilo Gallinari, formerly of the Knicks. You've got Ricky Rubio, Nikola Mirotic, who got punched by someone who's formerly a Knick. You've got Bogdanovich, Alex Abrines, Luka Doncic, Betazde, who plays for the Pacers currently. He lit us up one game this season, didn't he?
He did from 3 and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And then Usman Garuba. Garuba's over with the Rockets now, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
This season.
He has a lot of potential. He's raw though.
Yeah, definitely. He likes Sims, but I think a little bit higher ceiling.
More of a 4 than he is a 5, but I think he'll be a sound defensive player. We just have to. He has good IQ, but we'll see if the offense will come along. But I could see him being a very good defensive player.
Facts. So have you? We've talked about him before on the channel. George, have you seen any of Rokas's highlights over in Europe?
I have. I like what I'm seeing. I'm impressed.
People don't understand I'm streaming.
What?
All right, there we go. George, have you seen some Rokas highlights? Have you been paying attention to what he's doing over? What happened?
What happened?
Nothing. You just made me smile.
Replay?
No, what happened?
Oh, you just repeated twice the same exact thing.
Oh, I couldn't tell if you guys could hear me. Stop calling me.
Who's calling?
Yeah. People crazy.
Tell her you're busy.
I should, right?
Tell her you love her, tell you care.
Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted.
Boom.
George, have you been paying attention to what Rokas has been doing over in Barcelona? And if so, how do you see him factoring into the point guard discussion next season?
That's a great question. I actually I haven't developed a real opinion yet on that, but this tweet that you just put out is very revealing about how the Knicks feel about him, that he has real possibility. And I think that's probably, I think he actually probably will end up on the roster next season. Whether he gets minutes and stuff like that, it's a whole other thing. I mean, look what we thought about. We were hoping Luka Vildoza was going to do that.
He got cut quick.
Yeah.
We thought Deuce was going to get minutes. He's not even getting minutes.
Yeah. So then there's Deuce to deal with. But if he keeps performing like the way he has now, it's not an apples to apples comparison of stats in that league to the NBA, so it's hard to really understand that. But you got to look at the shooting percentages. You got to look at his assists. Those are the things that really that impress me about him. I think he's also pretty strong. For
big boy,
a nice size for a 21-year-old. Yep.
Yeah.
6'4", 6'9" wingspan.
Yeah, but he's long, but he's also
strong.
Strong. Now I was going to say not quite beefy, but he's built solid. So he's penetrating. He gets rewarded. He gets fouled. He can finish. And that's something that I think will translate to the NBA well with his game.
One of the last videos that Keys put out, he showed a play where he used his body driving, and it was a big game too. It was a clutch play, and he scored off the basket, off the backboard on a drive and a foul. And it was exactly like you said. He could finish through contact. That's important in the NBA, man.
Yeah.
But also, it's really important on the second part of this. That the first part is the Knicks front office is going to Spain, but the next blurb underneath it, George, so is that Deuce has also impressed them.
Mhm.
So it wasn't that. And it's funny that Deuce is averaging almost 28 points a game, almost 10 assists and 6 rebounds, 3.5 threes in the G League this year. And he has a chance to become the first G League player ever to average more than 25 points, 9 assists, and 2 steals over an entire season. So, but I actually think Rokas is more impressive because they're actually a team that's trying to win a championship, like a team here in the U.S., while the G League is just trying to showcase their skills, and they don't really care about winning. So that's a different philosophy. So I'm glad that Rokas is doing what he needs to do to lead a team to victory rather than just inflate his own stats.
And Barcelona's starting point guard went down middle of November.
Exactly.
So Rokas got elevated to the starting role. And
Yeah.
he's played well for Barcelona as they're competing for the championship in both leagues. Euro League and the Spanish ACB, I believe, is the other league. Or La Liga, ACB.
Either way, he's developed himself into an asset. You know,
Mhm.
whether the Knicks are looking at him as potential backup point guard for next season, which means something might happen to they might make them be willing to package IQ with some other players and some picks for, there's always been talk about during the summer a big trade for a disgruntled star that might become available. So, it's giving them flexibility. It's giving them flexibility.
And also look at the timing. I wish I would have known, or they would have reported when they're going in February, because that's right around the trade deadline. So the fact that you got the brass heading out there scouting Rokas right around that time, I think that's a pretty important fact to look at as well. Maybe there may be some deals in the works behind the scenes, and they're going to make a final analysis on Rokas before they pull a trigger. So that's something to keep your eye out on as well.
Yep,
absolutely.
How about you, Keith? How do you see him as having a role?
I like him. I think his floor is he can at least be a solid backup point guard. I think he will be limited a little bit because of his athleticism when he gets over, but I think he's poised. Remember, I went out to Vegas. I was able to see him in limited action with Summer League, and he looked like he fit in. I think that was one thing we mentioned when we were reviewing Summer League. It was the fact that Rokas fit in, but Luka really felt like an outcast while we were down there. But with the way he's fit in, the way he's still keeping in contact, if you read the article, he's still keeping in contact with some of the players that played with him in Summer League. So I like him as a potential fit on this team next season. Now, if there's a deal that can help us get better this year, I'd be open to moving him, but it would have to be a player that's not, a quick fix per se. It'd have to be another piece that we see as a long-term option here with this team.
Yeah,
I think he definitely has a pretty nice potential when he gets over to the States.
I think there's a lot to learn from Josh Giddey this past year, that you got to put a price tag on somebody that sees the floor, a floor general like he is, the skills that he has. So he has the size so he can see the passing lanes. So I think, like you said, there's value there.
The other thing is you don't want to leave guys in those other leagues for too long. That might have been kind of what hurt Luka a little bit. Vildoza, like, what is he, 24, Luka, or 25?
It's like 26.
26.
I was about to say he's older, yeah.
If you look at that list, whatever that list that you had up of the previous rising stars.
Put it back up. I apologize.
Yeah, most of those came over very young. That made an impact. Luka, what was Luka? 19?
He was a child.
Doncic, Bogdanovich, he was also 20, 21, I think. Mirotic, I'm not sure what Mirotic, but Rubio, I think he was in diapers still.
Yeah, Rubio was like 19. Was it 18, 19?
Yeah, he still had a binky. Yeah, he was 18. I think he was 18. Gallinari, I'm not sure, I can't remember his age, but So it's good. I mean,
Gallinari was pretty young too. He wasn't,
pretty young, because they don't have the same college system that we have here or AAU system. So this is kind of like their AAU college. If we look at it that way, for the guys who are really talented, really highly skilled. But if you leave them in that league too long, they don't continue rising, and they really need that competition, that NBA level competition to really unlock themselves. So, that's probably, I'm sorry, just to finish, that's probably why they're looking at him right now. They're like, wow, he's really performing. Now we have to decide whether we bring him over or not. So they want to go see him.
Yeah. I wish Douche could play over there this year, because I think that league, the playmaking skills that he's refining, Deuce doesn't have that opportunity in the G League. And don't go by the 16 assists that he had in the other night, folks. If you watch the game, it's just a different type of game that he was just dishing out. And but so I'm just glad that we have two guys that we can, maybe some of the best moves are the moves that you don't make. And maybe we'll go with this, and we'll see D Rose coming back, and now with the ball going through RJ, things can change. Hey, just a quick couple of quick shout outs. Your friend, my friend, our friend Ari Michaels in the chat. So Ari, hope all is well with the family, you and the family. D Burr, my friend Janine, again, shout out. Janine had a great take this past week about hold your horses. We haven't played anybody last week, and she was so right. So Janine, again, shout out for your excellent eye and calling it that in the next 6 games, Janine, we'll find out about this team. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a fact. So let's jump into the pregame portion. I put together the stats of the two teams over the last 5 games. Oh, shoot. Shiitake mushrooms will not go to the stats because I still have the Timberwolves on there. I'll just read it to you guys.
I was going to say shiitake mushrooms or psilocybin mushrooms. Yo, those are some good mushrooms.
Rajon Rondo.
Rondo
will play.
Okay.
Rondo is available tonight.
Yeah, but he is a sore hammy. Yeah.
All right. So over the last 5 games, the Cavaliers, they're averaging 106.6 points per game, 25.4 assists per game, 43 rebounds per game, and they're shooting 48.8% from the field and 30.5% from the 3-point line. Now, the Knicks in our last 5 games were 2 of 3. We're scoring 103 points per game. We're assisting at a rate of 22.8 assists per game, averaging 48.2 rebounds per game, shooting 43.6% from the field, and we're shooting 35% from the 3-point line. Now, in this game, my centers availability, I think, is still up in the air. We haven't heard any word on Noel or Mitchell Robinson. Luckily for us, they mentioned that Allen will not be playing. Ed Davis will be playing in his place. So what are you guys looking for this team to execute in order for us to come out this game with a W? Even though Tibbs yesterday played some of our major players or major contributors in excess of 40 minutes. So, George, I'll start with you.
I have no idea what to expect. I mean, it's
the story of the Knicks season, George.
Yeah. I mean,
Mitch is out. Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. Mitch is out. Nerlens is starting. We still don't even know if Kemba is playing or not. Like you said, Randall and RJ played a ton of minutes yesterday. So who knows? But I feel like I said earlier, I think there might be a little bit of a carryover from yesterday's game to the first half, at least, or maybe the first quarter even, where the Knicks will probably come out strong. And if they can and establish themselves, establish a groove, maybe build a little bit of lead, maybe they can hang on in that second half when everyone starts tiring. And then possibly, it's possible, guys, that the reason Cam only played 5 minutes yesterday is because Thibs is thinking about playing him more today, because guys are just going to be tired. So I would look out for that. Maybe Cam gets 10 plus minutes today just because of the back-to-back situation.
Foxy, what about you?
Like I said, I look to RJ to be aggressive like he has been, but maybe just make a minor adjustment for a couple more pull-ups rather than getting in challenging Mobley and those guys. Although I'm hoping Mitch plays, because one of the beauties of when he's aggressive, even if he does miss a bunny, usually when he gets in and hopefully it's on he's again bullying an undersized guard. He gets there, the help defense from their big comes over, and that's why Mitch eats on those offensive rebounds. So hopefully Mitch is there, because it makes a huge difference to this team. So, hey, we had 26 assists yesterday. We shot 40%, 44% from three. We shot well from the foul line, over 84%, which was nice. Only 12 turnovers. So we had 13 fast break points. So, let's build on that. But again, as George had on one of his tweets with his little keys, it's time for us to turn the keys over to RJ.
Facts. I want to see if Kemba is playing. I want to see how the offense looks. Are we going to allow RJ to continue to be the primary playmaker when he's out there with the starters and run the offense through him, or is Tibbs going to now run the offense through Kemba and Randall for the majority of the set? So that's what I want to see, how this team looks when Kemba is out there on the court once again. And Mitch being out, if he is indeed out, I think somebody mentioned he's out. That's unfortunate, but even though I say we should trade Nerlens Noel, and I'm not moving off that, I think when he's out there, he does show why he's a valuable piece. Maybe not at the price point we're paying him, but he still has value out there on the court with his ability to be disruptive defensively, getting blocks and steals. So with no Mitch, we're going to have Nerlens Noel step up and play big minutes. And he was able to do that against the Clippers. Let's see if he'll be able to replicate that performance. And I want to see how Tibbs handles the rotation. George, you did mention maybe Tibbs was looking into the future, and that's why he played the rotations the way he did, or played the players the minutes he did yesterday. But I don't see Tibbs coaching that type of way. Like, if
Me
this
either,
game is,
but I hope you're right, though.
if this game is close, I don't see Tibbs going to a player like Cam, who he probably doesn't have the trust in yet, and playing him an extended amount of minutes, especially with Kemba now being added to the rotation. So I wouldn't get shocked if Cam is a DMP.
So do we know for sure Kemba's playing?
Not 100%
sure. I haven't not seen anything. Does anyone know? Or JD popped in.
Yeah.
JD. Yeah.
JD.
Look, if Kemba can figure out a way to play on this team and not interfere with RJ's rise and his usage rate, which is now up to, I think, about 28% recently.
Actually, even higher, a little higher, 29%
was since
Kemba was out.
Yeah, since Kemba's been out. Yeah. So let's say that drops a little bit. Of course, it's going to drop. But let's say he can stay up in the high 20s, 26, 27, maybe in there. If Kemba can figure that out, then it could be nice, because he can definitely shoot the three. He's excellent at that. He wasn't aggressive the last few times he played, trying to fight his way to the hoop. He wasn't. Let's hope that he can correct that, because when he was having an impact in the game was when he was driving and finishing, and then doing his shooting is spectacular. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter, Kemba, throughout his career. This season, though,
terrible finisher this year, though.
Yeah, his finishing has just been.
We have a super chat there, Keith.
We actually have two. This one I want to get to as well. Shout out to Brando Perez with the super chat. He says, shout out to the chat and panel. Let's get this W. Hey, I hope we win as well. It would be nice to be on a nice little 2-game winning streak. We have difficult games coming up this week. So if we're able to,
I think this is a winnable game.
Yeah.
With Allen
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have another one from Chris Data. He's saying, from the ATL, what's really going to get under my skin is if Knox averages more minutes than Reddish going forward. Yeah, that would be crazy, because Knox has been a part of the rotation. He's gotten some minutes with the Hawks. What, I think he played like 14 or 12 minutes in a game recently?
Yeah.
Not much production, but he had the minutes.
Yeah, he was on the court, but you got to be on the court to get to develop your skills and get, acclimated with your teammates. And that's something we want Cam to do. If Cam played 12 minutes or 14 minutes yesterday, I'd have been ecstatic. I'm not asking for 20, 25 minutes out the gate, but more than 5 is a little bit disrespectful. He's not a rookie. He's a young player, but he still spent some time in the league.
It could literally be just and Thibs may even have told him, "Hey, look, we're just going to give you 5. You're going to get your feet wet, but we're going to ease you in. Be patient." He already said the patience thing, which is annoying to me, but maybe that's what the objective was there, just to get his feet wet, and hopefully he will turn to him, because he has tremendous skills. Cam, he has a little bit of a low motor sometimes, or just he looks a little disinterested in the game sometimes. He
a little aloof out there on the court.
A little aloof. His first year was his best year defensively. He's kind of drifted back a little bit from that. But again, we've talked about this before, where the lineups that he was with were really not. They worked against him in terms of him being able to be a solid defensive contributor in a team concept. But the idea is he has all the skills to actually be a star in this league. 6'8". I mean, he's got a decent enough handle. He's gotten strong. He can shoot. He can finish, which we all saw his only bucket. That air ball was painful. I'm sure he regrets that.
Yes. Yeah. And if imagine that was the reason he got sat. Because after he shot that air ball, we didn't see him again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, just real quick.
Yeah.
I was just going to say there's 154 people in the chat. We have 61 likes. Please hit that like. Before we get off the air, please hit that subscribe, and please hit that all reminder bell so you don't miss out on any of the great content, not only from Sports Vibe TV, but also into the Knicks First with my friend George. Let's get him over that 4K subscriber milestone. Just wanted to shout that out there. And our guy JD has a nice little stat up there.
Facts. The percentage marks is killing me, though. I can barely read it. It says, 7 points, 46
17. So the last 5 games. So the last 5 games, 17 for RJ with Kemba, 17 points, 46.2% field goal percentage, 17 points, 37.5 field goal percentage, 15 points, 41.7 field goal percentage, 8 points, 30% field goal percentage, 9 points, 26.7 field goal percentage.
Those are the last 5 games with Kemba.
With Kemba in the line.
And Cleveland is first in effective field goal percentage at the rim. So absolutely, I think they're actually, I had a statistic that I think they were 6th, but yep. And at the same time, thank God Allen's not there, because he's part of that reason they have that great statistic.
Here's the downside about what's about to happen. I think we're about to go into a 10-game stretch. 8 are on the road. We're playing the Cavs, the Heat, Bucks. Then we play the Grizzlies, the Lakers, the Jazz, the Nuggets, the Warriors, Trailblazers. Finally get a breather with the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
That's a rough stretch, guys.
Yeah, I could be a 2-8 real quick.
Yeah.
Stretch.
George, make sure you got your liquor in the house for those recaps, man, because you're going to need it.
Yeah, I'm going to need it, man.
Hey, our guy Ari did a scientific breakdown. I don't know if you see it, of basically when RJ plays with Kemba. I don't know if you see that.
I see. He said basically RJ plays like poop with Kemba.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that.
Oh,
no, that was the one. Right. Yes, that was the translation. Thank you, Ari. Could not break it down better than that. Oh, he's the coolest.
Our guy Dan Morero has a 3-team trade. I guess he wants to offer it up for our opinion. He says 3-team deal with the Knicks, Pistons, and Kings. Kings get Randall, Quick, and a 2nd-round pick from New York. Detroit gets Buddy and a 2nd round from the Knicks, and the Knicks get Fox, Sadiq Bey, and a 1st-round pick swap with the Pistons. I'm not a big fan of Fox, and then I think Bey is kind of redundant with us just getting Cam. No.
Yeah.
So we have De'Aaron Fox and Sadiq Bey,
and we get the right to swap in the 1st round with Detroit.
Yeah, I'd go for that. Get rid of Randall, and we get an elite guy with elite speed that changes everything for spacing.
Wait, Detroit gets
Buddy Hield.
So they're moving Bey.
I mean, I just don't
Buddy.
think that Yeah, I don't think that the trade will happen, but I don't know. It's not. I don't think there's an. I don't think Sacramento is. I don't think they're getting enough. They're probably going to want a first instead of a second round pick. And that's.
I feel like they're getting a lot. Randall and Quick. I'm not the biggest fan of
they're
Randall.
giving up Fox and Buddy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. They're giving up Fox and Buddy. You're right. You're right.
And Detroit's only giving up Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And first round.
And the first round swap.
Yeah. And they give up Bay.
And,
so
and
Bay
they're not even giving that
for Buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's something in there. I don't know if this is the right alignment.
The final draft.
Yeah. But there's something there. I mean, I think a 3-team deal it would probably be more realistic in terms of these kind of players. I don't know if these exact 3 teams, but like maybe Indiana replaces
maybe who they give
Detroit.
up.
Hey, JD has a super chat for you.
Hey, we got a super chat from JD. He says, "Congrats on 1 million views. Trying to be like you." JD, quit fronting, bro. You on Knicks Fan TV. You probably did 1 million views this month.
I love that little
yeah, exactly.
Talking about. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. Couldn't have done it without you. You've been a major contributor to the channel from when I was at 1.6 and now we're at 5.4. So I appreciate all the support of the channel you've done over the year. And also, big shout out to you making moves, one of the co-hosts on Knicks Fans TV. So salute to you. You keep making your moves and I keep doing mine, and we'll meet at the end. You heard me?
Salute, shout out, Kemba, Fournier, Barrett, Randall, Nerlens. That's the starting 5.
Say that one more time.
Kemba, Fournier, RJ, Julius, and Nerlens.
RJ's in the corner.
So we're back to the starting line, the regular starting lineup, except with Nerlens.
It's funny because that's the same thing Cam was doing for the most of his 5 minutes out there in the game, standing in the corner. So now RJ's going to join him, unfortunately.
We'll see. We shall see. It seems like you would think Kemba himself would make the decision to not bury Barrett in the corner, because he has to see the writing on the wall. This is RJ's team, even if it isn't officially right now. It will be very soon. By the end of this season, if RJ continues what he's doing, he would be the number 1 option on this team. So Kemba, if you're gonna take that, try and interfere with that, you're writing your own fate. You're gonna be basically end up somewhere else. So or just cut. I wouldn't even be surprised if Kemba gets cut.
Well, it might be the only move if there's nobody that's going to trade for him. You just eat the $8 million.
Word.
What do you guys think about this one? What do you guys think about Obi? Where will he end up because he's not getting minutes? And we have to find a solution, because I don't think this is a situation that's going to be sustainable. Only playing Obi, 5 to 10 minutes a game. I think we have a valuable asset on the bench in Obi, but all we're going to do is depress it if we keep him on the bench and don't play him.
Yeah, but he's averaging 15 minutes a game this year.
Yeah, but what has he done recently when the team has been healthy? Those minutes are a little bit skewed because you have to deal with injuries, you have to deal with COVID. But when this team is running on all cylinders and we have our full array of players available, Obi's getting right around 5 to 10 minutes a game.
Yeah, I was about to say 9 is the number that sticks in my head. Yeah.
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 Freaking Tibbs, man.
And that's not good for his development. That's not good if we're trying to raise his value to ship him out and get something in return.
Yeah. What do you think, Foxy?
I've gone on record about Obi that I think he's a great kid, but if you need other people to make you the best you can be, meaning a point guard to put, then I think he's trade bait for me, because he's relying on other people for him to be his best, because he can't make his own shot at this point. He still shoots in the 20s from mid-range, shoots in the 20s from 3. He's dynamic in transition, and he does a double pump jam, but that's good for ESPN top 10, but I want to see the other elements of the game for him. So, but he's not getting a chance to really display those. I've seen him. He has passing talent that we don't also put him in a situation to demonstrate. So, I feel badly for the young man. It's a hard thing, and Tibbs is so rigid. And if you look at the history of the players that Tibbs had as kids, they developed. He had a lot of young guys that he brought up, but it's under. He's just like Pops. You look at what he did with DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray's first 3 years, he hardly, he gave him a little time, a little more time, a little more time. So now we're seeing a great player, but he didn't give him any minutes. So it's these old school coaches are very rigid about that it's a 2-3 year process of giving minutes and seeing their development. So we're impatient. We want to see Obi take off, but it's just we got the wrong coach for that.
Yeah. I mean, Obi, in the past 10 games, he's only averaging 11 and a half minutes. So that's since the game where he played 45 minutes, that was on January 2nd. So since January 4th to now, 10 games, he's averaging 11.5 minutes, 2.7 points per game. And he's shooting 43%. And from the 3-point line, which I think is the reason that's hurting him so much, he's only shooting 10% from the 3-point line in the past 10 games.
Yeah, but I'm thinking 10%. Positive. No, but I'm thinking positive that he'll get it up to 20%. Hey, Keith, that was supposed to be funny.
I mean, I know we want him to play. I know we want him to play, but he needs to start hitting his shots.
Yeah.
He's now back to he's got to earn the minutes now.
Mm-hmm. And now he's got even more competition with Cam, because Cam could get some minutes at the 5.
Yep.
That's one of the things Tibbs said. He can play 3 positions, and that's extremely valuable in the NBA.
And he's almost the same exact size as Obi.
Before that, the last 10 games, the previous 32 games, he averaged 17 minutes a game, 8.8 points. His field goal percentage was 54%, which is nice. His 3-point shooting was only 21.4%. So I think the 3-point shooting has really forced Tibbs' hand, because he can't go small. You can't go small when a guy who can't create for himself and he can't hit the 3-point line in the catch and shoot situation in a small ball. So where's he going to get the minutes? Only when Randall sits.
Hey, our field producer JD says, "What Cavs player concerns you more? Garland and Mobley?"
And was it from JD? There we go.
Yeah, and that's a great question. But it's a perfect storm tonight. If Kemba's playing, Garland's going to kill him because he's and with no Robinson, who's going to stop Mobley? So, but I'm going to take Garland, man. If Kemba's there, I don't think Garland. He can't stop anyone, Kemba. So the way Garland's playing, it's going to be frightening.
Yeah, I'm going with Garland as well, Foxy. We have Kemba out there. I want to see if Tibbs decides to change things up and match somebody else on Garland, just to try and make life a little bit more difficult. Grimes. And also, how quick? Yeah, exactly. How quick is he going to allow Kemba to stay out there? Because if Garland gets cooking, we got to go and bring a player like Grimes in to shut him down.
Yeah, but we saw
shades of it when Trey was playing up against him. Grimes had a solid, what was it, 2.5 minutes guarding Trey. Was disruptive. If you can do the same thing with Garland, I think we should have a solid chance of winning this game.
But all of us were screaming this past week with Devontae Graham, take out Kemba. He's lighting him up. It's like he didn't, as we keep saying, his mid-game adjustments or no mid-game adjustments are killing us. So hopefully if Garland gets going, he takes him out real quick and puts some physicality. He's a small guy, so that's the type of guy you want to have, that physicality of a Grimes against a Garland, but he's lightning quick. So we'll see.
Is Deuce, did he travel with the team?
That I don't know, but I don't know. It's a moot point to me. I just, as Keys perfectly says, he's in the gulag, so I just don't see him.
Well, Garland, his last 10 games, He's not shooting the three very well. He's only shooting 30% from the 3-point line. His field
But
goal
look at some of the
percentage-
18 assist games and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he's not shooting. So, I mean, he's scoring 20 points, 21 points a game, but 18 attempts. The 10.6 assists. There's a chance that Kemba smokes his ass tonight. We could see Kemba come out and give us 20 points by the half, and then he'll be gone for 10 games.
I hope not, because he has 20 points.
We're talking about what's more likely though. What's more likely? Garland smokes Kemba or Kemba smokes Garland?
I actually cannot answer that question.
Come on, then you must be smoking. Then you smoking moon rocks.
What I'm saying is, I don't think that Garland is going to feast and Kemba won't.
But if Kemba feasts, then RJ is not feasting.
That's what I was about to say. If Kemba's cooking, that means RJ is going to be standing in the corner doing nothing this game. He's probably going to have another stat like JD put on the screen: 7 points.
Yeah,
three
but that's the
rebounds, 3
downside of
assists.
that. That's the risk of having someone like Kemba in your starting lineup alongside an RJ.
And when he had the 44 points, I think he had 7 assists, and the team I think had 17 assists. So that's not what we want. We want to have those 26 assists like we had last night.
Yeah, no Allen, but I think the Cavs are probably going to reach and exceed that 100 points threshold. By I think it's gonna be like about 112, 106 Cavs. I think. What do you think, George? What's your prediction?
Cavs win? You think?
Yeah, I think the Cavs are going to win.
I'm going to predict the Knicks win.
Foxy, it all comes down to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Explain your answer. I apologize, George. Get your answer.
I just think a lot of positive things happened yesterday, and even though Randall did have the 7 assists, the 24 points off of 15 attempts, that's a really nice stat line. RJ still was the leader, which is nice. I think there's going to be a nice carryover from yesterday into today, and that they have a chance of stealing this game, because Cavs are good, but the Cavs don't have Allen, and that's a huge aspect of this whole team. Mobley by himself is nowhere near as effective as Mobley with Allen for the team overall and defensively.
And don't forget Markkanen's out too.
And Markkanen is out. Yeah. Who he also gives them some nice length and 3-point shooting.
And has played well against the Knicks historically.
Yeah. Yeah. And no Rubio.
Ding, 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 ding. That's the one.
Yeah. So,
but we also have RJ and Randall coming off of 40-point. Not 40 point, but 40-minute performances the game before.
Yeah.
So second out of a back-to-back, I know it's already going to be tough for us. And, we'll see. We're on the road. We do play a little bit better on the road. So that's definitely an advantage to us, which is kind of wild when you think about it. But we'll see. Foxy, what do you think the prediction will be at the end of the game?
I think the Knicks are going to lose. If Kemba was not playing, I would have picked the Knicks to win. So, but with Kemba in, I think he's going to hurt the synergy and what we're seeing.
Remember last time we made Foxy predict? He predicted a win.
Yeah,
it was the worst loss.
The one
Where's the love? Where's the love? So I didn't feel good about that, but you know what? You have to take one for the team every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
you have to take one for the team, but I don't feel good about the next 8 games, so no less this game. So we'll be on the Tibbs watch the next few weeks, because this can get ugly quick.
Facts. Yeah. All right, so we'll end it there. The game starts at 7 today, right? If it
does.
hasn't started already, we always get into the game. One of these days, we're going to turn this into a watch along.
Yeah,
might as well. We're 12 minutes into the game.
Yeah, watch along while we drink.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, let's go. I want to
That'd
see.
be a good one.
The Knicks are already up. It's already 5-2.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's done.
All right. So, anything you guys want to say before we sign off and get to the game? I know you have to watch for your recap.
Thanks for the shout out. Shout out to the chat. Michael West, the beer. I saw earlier Big Task. Let's see. Well, Still Dre. Awesome. Thank you guys for showing up. Brandel Perez. Ari Michael's in there. Hey, Ari, what's happening? JD. JD.
And the place to be.
Yeah.
Sports Vibes TV.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Hey, bars. All we need is a beat. Foxy, anybody want to?
Hey, Randall's already missed 2
close?
shots.
Yo,
Hey.
here comes 2 turnovers then. Not just like you said, JD stopped by. We love our JD. Janine, thanks again, Janine. We love your feedback and just the whole SV Nation. Thanks again for all your support. Go Knicks. Hopefully we'll have a win tonight. And we just want RJ to continue this ascension to the leader of this team.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. We've got Brando, Ari, as you mentioned, Still Dre. Who else do we got? Janine, Cap Sleazy, Ashley Incorporated. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting the live stream. Let's go watch the game and hopefully the Knicks can win. I know I predicted a loss, but at the end of the day, I'm always hoping we win.
Yeah, absolutely. And D Burr, man, you have a good night, my friend. My friend D Burr, he's cool, good people, man.
D Burr? What did I say?
Yeah.
I called the buyers. I messed up.
Yeah, De Beers, that's a diamond company.
All right. So once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV. That's our guy George from Into the Knicks Verse, and Stephen Fox, our NBA analyst here on the channel.